Thank you for coming, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning. Thanks for joining us today. Minister Jolie, Premier Canoe, Secretary Levac, Mayor Gillingham. We have MP Ben Carr. Where's Ben? We have Minister Moyes and MLA for Transcona Corbett. So thank you, ladies and gentlemen, and a bunch of us from the NFI team. So we also have our union partners, some suppliers, members of the press, and honored guests. Welcome to NFI. My name is Paul Soubry, and for the last 17 years, I've had the honor and the privilege of being the president and CEO of this wonderful company, having retired on January 1st. And as this is one of my last official duties, I will try and keep my speech under an hour and a half. First, let me recognize and acknowledge that we are today on Treaty 1 territory, the original lands of the Anishinaabe, Cree, Oji Cree, Dakota, Lakota, Dene peoples, and the birthplace and homeland of the Métis Nation. Now, today's program will include greetings from many of our distinguished guests, followed by a short media scrum and a few questions, and then we'll do what we all came for, which is cut a ribbon of this magnificent new electric bus, all-Canadian facility. Now, I have with me here a screen capture, which you can't see, okay? This is a Teams call, January 11th, 2024, so just over 2 years ago, 3:04 Central Standard Time. Then Federal Prairies Can Minister Dan Vandel, Premier Canoe, Mayor Gillingham, Jennifer McNeil and I, and about 10 or other people on the phone. This was the very first call to the city, the province, and the federal government to say, we want to bring all-Canadian bus building back to Canada. And the response was overwhelmingly positive and supportive. And so here we are 2 years later, and it isn't just a ribbon cutting. This place is actually building and delivering buses. Then nearly a year ago, April Fool's Day actually of last year, we had Prime Minister Carney in our other building to talk about the future of our company, our community, and public transit in Canada. And I'm pleased to report that it was not an April Fool's joke. He committed his personal support to help us get this done. Now we have an expanded Canadian manufacturing footprint in a way that means so much to our people, our partners, our province, and quite frankly, our country. This truly is an all-Canadian project. And it's a significant milestone in our journey of being a global, leading, independent bus and motor coach manufacturer. So with the support of the Government of Canada, province of Manitoba, and tremendous assistance from the City of Winnipeg, both as customers, but also as we set up this facility, this whole project was launched by Chris Stoddart a couple years ago, of trying to find a way, the president of New Flyer, of trying to find a way to add Canadian content, Canadian volume to increase the US volume. A true collaboration with all three levels of government and the passion of the NFI team. And the proof is that when we align around jobs, innovation, sustainability, big things can happen. And boy, are we proud. So New Flyer has officially expanded this facility. It completes heavy-duty transit buses, and these beautiful buses you see here are all of the brand New Flyer Excelsior. And at the same time, as I said, we've freed up capacity in our Crookston, Minnesota facility to finish buses for American customers. So that's truly a win-win for our company and for our customers. So how did we get here in the last couple of years? First of all, we went through this little thing called COVID, and then we went through a massive supply chain hell. We refinanced our business several times. In total, we lost several hundreds millions of dollars. But with the support of the provincial and the federal government, we decided to take this leap to bring this thing back here. The last time a bus was completed in Canada was 15 years ago at New Flyer. We called this project True North. And today I'm proud to say True North is no longer a project name, it's an actual operating facility. And that's no small accomplishment. So a huge thank you. I see Manoj there. I don't know if, who else is here from the manufacturing and facilities team, but incredible to be able to turn this from effectively a warehouse facility. Also a shout out to Art DeFair, who owns the building and shuffled around some of his tenants to allow us to locate in this place, which is adjacent to our parts depot, which is adjacent to our new product development facility. So thank you, Manoj, to you and your team and all the guys and gals for making this happen in record time. With significant demand from Canadian customers, including, of course, Winnipeg Transit, TTC in Toronto, Vancouver, Ottawa, we have some Ottawa buses here, and Brampton, we saw a clear path to steady, sustainable production right here in Winnipeg. Building buses for Canadian communities by Canadians. Most importantly, this expansion means really good jobs, advanced manufacturing skills, supply chain investment, and long-term economic impact right here in Manitoba. It reinforces that when we set our mind to it, Canada can compete. Now, after that phone call, I went to see the Premier. The conversation I had planned was for about an hour. I had presentations. I left 10 minutes later, and he said, "This is a no-brainer." And here we are. So I'd like to acknowledge and thank our partners. I see a few in the crowd here from our friends at Prairies Can that stuck with us through a number of projects. The province of Manitoba, the city of Winnipeg, and Josipa's organization, Cutric. I see the Unifor gang here over at MCI, the International Association of Machinists and Aerospace Workers, and everybody for what I think is a really, really impressive partnership. So at this time, I'm pleased to invite Parliamentary Secretary Levac to provide greetings from the federal government.
Good afternoon, good morning. We're on the cusp there today, so bonjour tout le monde. Thank you so much, Paul, for the very, very kind introduction. And thank you also for the land acknowledgement. I'd just simply like to add to that que je veux aussi rendre hommage au premier peuple qui, depuis d'innombrables générations, partage et protège ses terres et ses eaux, et que nous nous engageons d'aller de l'avant dans un esprit de respect et de réconciliation. It is such a great day to be here. And honestly, what an incredible moment for New Flyer Industries, for Manitoba, and for all of us here in Canada. When you walk into the facility, I felt it. I felt an excitement. I can feel pride in this space. And you really feel the momentum that something big is really happening here today. This marks a defining moment in Canadian manufacturing. As Paul mentioned, for the first time in more than 15 years, transit buses are being built by Canadians, for Canadians, and being manufactured right here at home from start to finish. That's a huge deal. So let me say, congratulations. Félicitations à toutes et à tous qui ont travaillé tellement fort pour réaliser ce projet. Merci infiniment pour vos efforts afin de ramener ce travail et ce produit chez nous après près de 20 ans. To the welders, the engineers, designers, electricians, apprentices, everyone who put their hands, their skills, and their hearts into this project, we thank you. To NFI's executive leaders, the office staff, take a bow too. You are a part of the reason why we are standing here today, so thank you. In a world where supply chains and countries are looking inward, Manitoba is stepping up to the plate and with homegrown solutions. Because we have what Canada needs. We have the workers, we have the innovation, and the determination. Today, we're strengthening our economy, strengthening our independence, and strengthening our confidence in who we are and what we're able to accomplish. Il y a au-delà de 1 an environ que Prairies Can a investi 15 millions de dollars afin de lancer ce projet ambitieux. Just over a year ago, Prairies Can announced its investment of $15 million to help launch this project. This investment helped NFI to realize to realign its design and production floor, to make room for new workstations, enhance its battery electric capabilities, and set up new workforce training programs. We can see how far a year later that we've come, and this is that support that helped make this happen. So let me say this. Quel partenariat incroyable. None of this happens without partnership. This is a prime example that through Prairie's Partnership Initiative, it works together with other federal departments and regional stakeholders in order to seize new opportunities here on the prairies that benefit everyone. So because of collaboration doesn't happen without great partners. Our government, the province of Manitoba, the city of Winnipeg, as well as New Flyer, all moved in lockstep to make today possible. And it shows what we can accomplish when we do work together that collaboratively. Alors un gros merci sincère à tous les partenaires. Today is about believing in our talent, building our future here at home, and proving that Manitoba can compete and win on the world stage. À tout le monde qui ont mis tous leurs efforts, leur passion et leur leadership dans ce projet, félicitations. Thank you so much to everyone who poured their efforts, their passion, their leadership into this really, really crucial, critical project. You've made history today, and you've done it together. Merci, miigwech.
I'm just going to introduce you. Allow me to introduce a great friend of our company, of our country, of course, and of Manitoba, who's done an amazing amount of jobs for the federal government, representing our country on the world stage, and now domestically as Minister of Industry, the Honourable Melanie Jolie.
Thank you, Paul. Hi, everyone. It's really a pleasure to be here. Paul and I had many conversations about New Flyer, but coming here and meeting all of you, it's really, really a pleasure. Premier, of course, Wab, it's always a pleasure to see you. We'll have the chance to talk a bit later today. And Jeanette, Ben, thank you for your presence. Of course, Mayor Scott. We'll have the chance to talk about many, many projects together to create more jobs here. And I just wanted to say also congratulations to our new favorite Canadian, John. Why are you laughing? The new CEO of New Flyer, who apparently is a Jets fan now.
Big time.
Yeah, good, perfect.
Love the Jets, go.
Good, perfect. So, a year ago, and Paul just alluded to it, Prime Minister Carney was here talking about the importance of this company for our country. And we now know, when you think about it, what has happened for the last year. Well, we know we live in a much more complex and dangerous world. Just look at what happened over the weekend. And so we know that uncertainty and a lot of unpredictability and definitely a lot of turbulence will continue. But we know also that we can take care of our own. And meanwhile, we know that there's a trade war going on. And of course, it is affecting Canadians, affecting companies. And this place, New Flyer, marks no exception because we know tariffs are imposed on buses. But there are many things in the world we can't control. We can't control what is going outside of the border or in the Middle East, but we can control what we're doing here in the country. And in 2025, our government and a lot of Canadians, we were much more in reaction mode. But in 2026, we have a plan and we're putting it into place. And that is why we came up with a new auto strategy and a new defense industrial strategy, which are both really, really important for our economy and to create and protect jobs. Et c'est pourquoi il y a plein de choses qu'on ne peut pas contrôler, mais il y a plusieurs choses qu'on peut contrôler. Et ce qu'on fait ici, dans notre pays, certainement on peut le contrôler. En 2025, on a été plus en mode réaction. En 2026, on est en mode proaction. Et on va faire en sorte de mettre en œuvre notre plan. And so the story of New Flyer is an inspiring one. And you heard it from Paul, you heard it from Jeanette. I'm sorry to say you'll hear it from a lot of people today. But we know that New Flyer has been anchored in Winnipeg since 1930 and has faced many challenges, but every time you've been able really to grow and prosper. And Paul was just alluding to it, coming out of COVID, it was tough for New Flyer. Transit companies were going down, and obviously it was tough to be a bus manufacturer. But Paul and the team had this great vision of building an all-Canadian bus here, and zero-emission or low-emission here in Winnipeg. Not only for Winnipeggers, but also for people in Ottawa in every city of the country. And we're now here witnessing that this vision became reality. And so, it's great news because not only do we believe in the team at New Flyers, but also there were 250 new jobs that were created and this, world-class facility. So my point is this: we believed in the project a couple of years ago. We believe in it now. We will continue to believe in New Flyer with you, John, at the helm. And you're now the example of what can be done elsewhere in the country, because we know that what has happened here at New Flyer can become something we can do at a larger scale. And there could be New Flyer in many sectors and also in many parts of the country. And so we know that in times of hardship, Canadians roll up their sleeves and we are able to build back and build back strong. And what has happened here is an example of building Canada strong. That's where we all clap. So we know that you have a great management team. We want to invest more. We want you to come up with to the federal government with new projects. We want to invest in more of what you can be done here in Manitoba, here in Winnipeg, with this great team, with these great employees. On veut investir davantage à New Flyer. On veut faire en sorte aussi d'investir davantage au Manitoba. On veut créer des bons emplois et des bonnes carrières. So Canada has everything the world needs: the right resources, the right tech, the right people, the know-how. But what is important is we can do it all together and we can build back Canada strong. So I'm honored to be here in this very historical moment. And let's just cut that ribbon, if there is a ribbon. Thank you.
Thank you, Minister. I'd now like to introduce the Premier of Manitoba, who's stormed on the scene here in our province and has become a true champion for our company, but also for our province. And you and I have been talking about this day for quite some time. He jokes that I use his cell phone more than anybody else does, but so I apologize for that, but I do appreciate you giving me his number. So special thanks to you and your government for stepping up. It was a really tough time, but you helped us have confidence and see the future. You bet on us, and we are truly grateful. So the Honorable Wab Kinew.
Well, congrats to John, Paul, the whole NFI team here. I want to shout out Unifor. That's the quietest Unifor has ever been, by the way. And I met some folks from MCI here too on the way in, so shout out to the machinists and everyone who comes to work each and every day and makes this great Manitoba success story what it is. Today's all about showing that Manitoba can be a leader during this historical moment where Canada's economy is under threat. And that is a story that I'm super proud of, and I'm proud of it because of all of you, the blue-collar folks who make this story a success. I also want to say bonjour à le ministre Mélanie Jolie, Député Lévesque, to MP Carr, to Mayor Gillingham, to my colleagues, the Minister of the Environment here, Mike Moyes, and Shannon Corbett. Are we in Transcona proper right now? Yeah, so she's actually the MLA for this Transcona seat, and there's a long history, whether it's NFI or CN, of Transcona building our province and representing what's good about this place. So we're very proud of the $23.4 million that we've invested as the province into this project, all Canadian built, making sure that not only do we have a leader in zero-emission bus manufacturing, but that we're also a leader in fighting for Canadian manufacturing. There's so much going on in the world right now. We all know what's going on. I feel for Paul and John who have to navigate in this environment, right? And you have to, be very, very conscientious of all the different dynamics going on globally. But we know what's happening around the world right now. Basically, it's a fight for who's going to be able to have manufacturing jobs in their countries and in their provinces. And it's moves like this, working with a private sector leader like NFI, working with the feds, with the city, with ourselves as a province, That's how we're going to preserve manufacturing. That's how we're going to support the blue collar. And that's how we're going to make sure that Canada will always remain the true north, strong and free. So I was really happy to see that. I was really happy to see that screenshot from that call. It put a smile on my face. But I hope that goes to show how these things that are going to make Canada successful don't happen overnight. It takes a long time to be able to put the money together, to put the deals together. So when we first started talking about this in 2024, it wasn't clear who the American president was going to be. But it was clear that whoever got elected, Canada was going to have to do more to support our economy, right? And as we look forward into the future, regardless of what happens in future American elections, there's no putting the toothpaste back into the tube. We have to respond to a much more openly protectionist American political environment, whatever side of the aisle is defending or is governing. And so for us in Canada, it's not just a question about elbows up or we're never going to be the 51st state. Those things are a given. The question for us going forward in the future is how are we going to use the smarts, the work ethic, and the innovation of Canadians to make sure that our kids and our grandkids have as good a quality of life as we do today? And how are we going to make sure that they have jobs that even in the face of whatever's going on politically, whatever's going on overseas, whatever's going on with AI, they're still going to be able to put food on the table? So I'm really, really proud of this investment here today because I think it really shows how Manitoba can punch above its weight when it comes to answering this historical moment. We got a great opportunity with Churchill. I often say that when we look back on this time and we try to tell the story of how did Canada step up when its independence and its economy was under attack, they're going to be writing the story of how Manitoba stepped up. But the Churchill thing, it's a few years off maybe. The NFI thing is real, and it's here right now. And that is a story about how Manitoba is standing up to lead the way for all of Canada. So it's a real pleasure to work with all of our partners here today, and I'm so happy that we get a chance to cut the ribbon with the new Top Gun at NFI. Ask him about this Top Gun pedigree. It's legit. So with that, in terms of official comments, I did just want to take a moment and acknowledge Paul Soubry. On behalf of the province of Manitoba, thank you for your years of service to the economy and to industry, Paul. Paul is a real champ. He's led some of the biggest businesses here in our province, but maybe more importantly than that, he's been a leader on the community side as well. And we in Manitoba are so lucky that so many of our business leaders also have a heart and also have a community mindset. So I'm really, really proud of the work that Paul's done on behalf of our economy here. And I think it's just such a fitting way as you make this transition that this all-Canadian build facility is coming to life. So congratulations on a great run, and congrats to NFI on choosing a great new leader. So thanks. Miigwech. Merci.
So Premier and Minister Jolie, just so you know, I did give your cell phone numbers to John already. And speaking of cell phones, I want to introduce our next speaker, His Worship Mayor Gillingham, who was very responsive when we needed some building permit expedites through the city. I'm not recommending you do it with your house, but if you need some help, I'd be glad to share your cell phone number with anybody that needs it. His Worship Mayor Gillingham.
That's great. Well, thank you very much, Paul. Good morning, everyone. And I want to thank the NFI Group, a New Flyer, for inviting all of us to be part of this very exciting day. I want to recognize Minister Jolie and Premier Canoe and MP Levesque and Ben Carr, and all of our distinguished guests here as well. It's great to be here today. You've already heard from the other speakers about how important this project is, what it represents nationally. And I want to focus a little bit more, on what it means for us here in Winnipeg, because it's a very, very proud day for Winnipeg. This new facility means more local jobs, more investment in our economy, and a strong future for manufacturing within Winnipeg. Bringing full bus production back to Winnipeg for the first time in 15 years really shows the strength of our workforce and our growing leadership in advanced manufacturing. It also represents and reinforces something that we know already. Winnipeg can compete. We have the talent, we have the expertise to deliver world-class products, including the next generation of zero-emission buses. And at the City of Winnipeg, we're working very hard to create an environment where companies want to grow and want to invest here, where businesses can expand with confidence, where skilled workers can stay here, build long-term careers, and where innovation is supported. And that means supporting economic development, investing in infrastructure, and ensuring that Winnipeg remains a competitive place to do business. And so today is a strong signal that the work that we have been doing collectively in partnership with the federal government, the provincial government, and the private sector is paying dividends because we see the success here today. And I want to echo kind of what the Premier said. Paul, first of all, thank you for your leadership of NFI. Thank you for your leadership in this community. And thank you for having the vision to really start and launch what we are seeing and realizing and cutting a ribbon on today. And your work is inspiring. Your commitment to our community is inspiring. We all look forward to the book you're going to write about it all. But we really appreciate all your effort. And on behalf of the City of Winnipeg, City Councilor John, want to welcome you and ultimately your family to Winnipeg. Really excited to have you being part of our community, giving leadership to NFI, and look forward to working with you in the days and years ahead. I'm going to be short, but I'm going to end with a message to all the workers. Quite in a stroke of serendipity this morning, I woke up to a text from a guy that I've known for 30 years, but he's been a Winnipeg Transit driver for 15 years. He had no idea I was coming here today. But this is his text to me. I'm going to leave his last name out. He sends a picture of himself with a thumbs up in front of one of Winnipeg's new zero-emission buses. As you know, we're a big customer of NFI. His name's Jeff. He says, "Good morning. I just wanted to pass on that I've been driving the hydrogen and electric buses a lot lately, and I approve. I want one as my personal vehicle, LOL. So fast and smooth, it's like driving a subway. You can order more of these, please." So that's a credit. Like I said, Jeff had no idea I was coming here today. I've known him for like a long time, but it's a credit to all of you workers who are doing a great work putting this product together as customers. We love it. Thank you. We look forward to more in the future.
Mr. Mayor, what you don't know is that after you showed me that, I contacted Jeff, and he starts at our sales department on Monday. Next to last, I'd like to introduce a very special friend and Canadian champion. Josipa Petrunic is the president and CEO for Cutric, and she'll tell you more about what Cutric does, but trying to bring together a national strategy, helping businesses, advising the government, and she has done some amazing work to help us chart our future here. Josipa?
Thank you so much, Paul. So we all know that effectively Canada is under economic attack. Geopolitics are in turmoil. And there is no doubt that Canadians are a bit fearful about the future, but Premier, Minister, you've certainly helped us outline the fact that we have strategic plans, and with those plans, we're going to get through what seems sometimes to be a very long, dark tunnel. And Paul, to your comment about what we do at Cutric, well, we don't do anything without partners like New Flyer. And over the last 10 years, we have been trying to come up with some of those solutions to show that transit is not just the poor cousin of automotive. It's not just a place where you go plunk money because some people can't afford a car. It's actually a hotbed of technology. It manufactures and innovates some of Canada's best leading electric platforms, hydrogen platforms, artificial intelligence, cybersecurity, big data analytics. I mean, this is the stuff of transit today. And if it's true what they say that I think success is when opportunity meets preparation, well, New Flyer thinking a few years ago along with government leaders that we could make a bus in Canada is certainly certainly the definition of success, but it is most absolutely an incarnation of the last 10 years of trying to show that in Canada, transit manufacturing is not about building dumb steel buses. It's about building the technology of the future that makes Canada and Canadians leaders in the technological future of the world. So with that, what I can say, Minister Jolie, is not only are we here building jobs, we are here building jobs in technology. We're here building jobs in zero emissions. We're here solving climate problems. And while it is true that transit cannot solve all problems, it is emphatically true that it can solve many problems. And we would even go to the extent of saying, in this era of sovereignty, when we're under attack, or at least philosophically thinking about our sovereignty concerns, public transit is a standing army of 66,000 drivers, electricians, mechanics, people who know how to run a fleet spread across this country, backed by 25,000 factory floor jobs. This is an industry with 100,000 people working for it, and at the drop of a dime could be mobilized even for domestic defense. All too often, we have overlooked public transit as that poor cousin. And I am so happy to say, Minister Jolie, and to the team here at New Flyer, that we are now, for the first time in Canadian history, going to be writing a transit manufacturing strategy. There's automotive, there's defense, and there's public transit. And we truly believe that by moving Canadians, you move them to jobs, you move the economy. And by moving Canadians through technological innovation, like what you see around here today, you do it building the technology jobs of the future that our children will be so proud to work in. So for the future going forward, to the government and to New Flyer, congratulations for your very perspicacious investment years ago. As we move forward into this exciting era, building Canadian jobs, creating the jobs of the future, investing in a Build Canada strategy, we're going to build a Canada that everybody wants to move to, one bus at a time. Thank you very much.
Now that I'm retired, I might want to go work for you now, Giuseppe. You just inspired me. Let me introduce our final speaker. Before I do so, there's a great story of President John F. Kennedy going to the Kennedy Space Center, or what was the Space Center in the United States years and years ago. And they're on a formal tour, and he walks over in the corner, and there's this gentleman sweeping the floor. And he says to the gentleman, "What do you do?" Expecting the guy to say, "I'm a janitor." And the guy's response was, "I'm helping put a man on the moon." That's what we have here. We have all these people you talked about in our industry. And these aren't smoke and bread boxes anymore. These are $1 million to $1.5 million vehicles with levels of technology and sophistication that the average person would have no clue. Every bus is different, which means that people work here have to be able to read blueprints, do sophisticated math, differentiate parts. This is a very, very skilled workforce, and we are really proud of what we've got. And for the most part, other than our new CEO, we can hire people locally, we can train them locally, and we can develop them here. So now let me introduce NFI Group's new president and CEO, and as you mentioned already, Winnipeg Jets fan, Mr. John Sapp. We are really lucky to have John take up the challenge of NFI, move to Winnipeg. He's bought a house. Now, one lesson they tell us in life as you get more senior organization is hire smarter people, younger people. He's taller, better looking, way more experience, and I have no doubt that John will help take NFI to the next level. Here's John.
Well, it's hard to follow up that intro there, Paul, but I will do my best. I'm the closer. It says it on my speech here, right? So I got to make sure that I deliver here, and frankly, the commentary makes that task, fairly humbling. Obviously, extremely inspiring words from all involved. But we are very anxious to be moving to Canada, as noted. I will be a resident of this great country, this great city, this great province here in the next month and a half, and look forward to carrying the torch for these impossibly large shoes that I have to fill in Paul's. And I'll talk more on that here in a moment. But very humbling commentary. Paul shared with me early on in our conversation around this project in particular and its importance. And of course, having worked globally and understand just how critically important it is to have localized content, localized manufacturing, I understood, right, the importance. But it really wasn't until I got here and truly understand our team and understand the importance of Winnipeg and the importance of delivering in Canada for Canada that I truly gained a terrific appreciation for that. I don't know French yet, so based on that was humbling as well, listening to that. So, I have work to do. But let me, share a few thoughts, right? I joined NFI at the beginning of this year, obviously, and in short time, I've really had this opportunity to see firsthand what makes this organization great. And it isn't just about building incredible, sustainable solutions in the mass transit space. It's really about the people and the pride that you all carry forward every single day. And that pride is what really drew me here, because it isn't just about supporting mass transit and the mission that we have every single day, but it's around our mission of environmental progress, our mission of connectivity, of workforce mobility. That mission of bringing people together safely is something that I've spent my entire career doing. And I am extremely anxious and appreciative of the fact that that mission for me continues in this very humbling role and responsibility that I have. So today we celebrate, obviously, a terrific milestone, 15 years since an all-Canadian bus has been built here in Canada. And so to be a part of that, a very small part of that, on the back end of it, is truly humbling. But it's more than a milestone that we celebrate. It's you all. It's you all as Canadians. It's you all as bringing and representing Canadian manufacturing strength. It's a statement about resilience and a statement about when Canadians decide to put advanced manufacturing, it will get done. And that is a huge testament to you all. So these vehicles that are here are obviously imagined, engineered, assembled, and completed right here in Canada by you all as Canadian workers, by Canadian communities, with Canadian supply chains. And that is more than just being operationally significant. That is something that is certainly meaningful to you all. At a time when global supply chains are under threat, the North American and pressure, today's announcement reflects that confidence in you all, in this team. It's confidence in the Manitoba workforce. It's confidence in the partnerships between our business and the local government. And it's confidence in the long-term future of sustainable mobility. So this operation doesn't just strengthen what we do here in Canada, it also strengthens the entire North American manufacturing footprint. And so when we build and support Canadian customers out of these facilities here, it also creates added capacity across North America, as well as what we do globally. And so that is also hugely impactful, and that impact then goes beyond just our borders here. To our project team, everything from engineering, production, supply chain, quality, programs, commercial, and every supporting element in between. You turn this vision that Paul showed the picture for 2 years and a month ago into a reality. And to do it this quickly is incredibly impressive. You turned plans into welds, into wire harnesses, into buses moving through this shop. And on behalf of this entire leadership team, I certainly thank you. I want to take a moment also to recognize Paul a little bit further. So 17 years in the seat is a really, really long time. And he's done a fantastic job. One that's, as noted, quite humbling for myself. Incredibly deep shoes that I have to go fill. His leadership was one that has created momentum. I will admit, Paul and I think Paul was a little concerned about myself the first time we met. Wasn't sure. And that's because I told him that I could not skate. And so you talk about a reveal. Get into a Canadian shop and explain that you cannot skate, right? That is something also that I need to go do. Thankfully, Paul came around, and I am very pleased for this opportunity to go lead and take this torch and the leadership of NFI and his legacy on. This doesn't just happen within our four walls, obviously. We're grateful to the Government of Canada for its continued support of our manufacturing as well as our workforce and clean transportation. Thank you to the province of Manitoba, to the city of Winnipeg for your continued partnership and what you've done in terms of enabling our team and enabling us to go lead in this regard. As Paul and others have noted, what we do in these buses at 1.5 million and above, this is incredible technology. and it's you all that are bringing that to light. So it's more than just a capacity expansion here. This represents jobs, skills, supply chain management, long-term economic impact, and a strong foundation that will continue to enable the future of public transportation in Canada. And so to all of you that were a part of it and bringing this to life, this is your success. You should be extremely proud of what you have done to enable that. And I'm excited and humbled, honored to serve in this capacity here as we go forward. And I look forward to our journey as we lead public transportation in Canada, across North America, and around the world. Thank you all.
All right, thanks everybody for your patience. We're going to ask Mr. Stephen King, the bus guy, not the author, to come up here and host a little bit of a media scrum, and then following that we'll do a ribbon cutting and have a few photos. Thank you.
Thanks, Paul, and everybody. So yeah, we're going to do a quick media scrum. So if I can ask people, because we only have one podium, when you ask your question, if you could just name your outlet, your name, and who your question is directed to, and then we'll rotate people in and out. So we're going to start with a question in French. Nous commençons avec une question en français. So please.
L'impact direct de cette usine, ça va créer beaucoup d'emplois, puis donner un avenir plus sécuritaire pour notre province. Mais l'effet indirect est que cet investissement va appuyer la souveraineté canadienne.
Bien, écoutez, premièrement, nous sommes un pays qui peut offrir énormément aux autres pays, particulièrement dans un monde plus complexe et plus dangereux. Et en effet, on a eu plusieurs conversations. J'étais en Allemagne la semaine dernière pour 24 heures et certainement la demande en matière de minéraux critiques, elle est importante, et en matière aussi d'énergie fossile. On sait que la guerre au Moyen-Orient, qui a été déclarée en fin de semaine, va avoir un impact sur les cours du pétrole. On sait que justement le Canada est une destination d'investissement pour des investisseurs qui recherchent des endroits, des opportunités d'affaires, alors qu'il y a beaucoup d'incertitudes, et nous allons faire en sorte de développer notre potentiel. Merci.
Okay, we'll go to our next question, I think is over here, and we have a microphone as well. Sorry, should have said that first.
Hi, I'm Timur Durrani from the Globe and Mail. My questions are for you, Minister Jolie. Minister Jolie, I'm going to turn your attention to a Globe and Mail report that said Canadian national security officials were presented with evidence that Indian consular staff in Vancouver had supplied information to assist in the assassination of Canadian Sikh activist Hardeep Singh Nijjar. I'm really sorry that this is what we're asking about today. I know we're talking about a lot of other things, but I do have to ask, because you were the Foreign Affairs Minister at the time, what was your understanding of the involvement of consular officials at the time, and has there been any accountability, in your opinion, of the Indian government officials who were involved?
So thank you. Obviously, this is a question linked to the workers and the investments today. But what I would say about that is the number one priority of our government is always the security of our people, period. And so there's a trial going on. There's also another investigation going on through the RCMP, and we'll continue to make sure that we'll let them do their work. We'll let the RCMP do their work. Meanwhile, there's been an entire foreign interference public inquiry on this. And in that context, the recommendations that were made by Justice Hogg will be implemented. And our government will make sure that we implement it. And for the rest, when it comes to the relationship with India, we have to be able to do both. Obviously, to protect the security of our people, as it would be in any circumstances. And meanwhile, we need to be able to diversify our trade. And notwithstanding everything that has happened in the last years, we were able to continue to do business with India. And that is why the Prime Minister was there. That is what Canadians expect us in the context of this trade war. And that's what we'll do to make sure we create jobs at home.
Minister Jolie, I just want to follow up with that. Do you believe there's foreign interference happening right now from India in Canada?
Listen, it's not for me to have an opinion whether there is or not. There are people that are in charge of making sure that people are safe at home in every single circumstances. And these are our police forces, and these are our national security agencies. And they have to do their job, and I'm convinced they are. And once they have proof, then they can trial. And that's exactly how our system, which is based on the rule of law, works. And so when it comes to any form of vulnerabilities of foreign interference in our country, this was extremely studied by an entire public inquiry that lasted more than 6 months. And so I'm convinced that we're taking every single step to make sure that Canadians are safe, and at the same time that we can navigate geopolitics at a time of turmoil. Thank you.
Okay, so we've got to wrap it there for questions, but some of us will be around for those that didn't get a chance to ask a question. We're going to do the ribbon cutting right now. So I'm going to ask Scott Murray and Manoj Verma to come up, who are going to be our ribbon holders, and John Paul and Minister Jolie will do the cutting.